Hey everyone! Today we're going to talk about the empirical formula. The empirical formula is the simplest whole number ratio of atoms of elements in a compound. So, you can be given an unknown compound with the percentages of each element in the compound, and you could be asked to find the empirical formula for it. So our example today is an unknown compound was found to be composed of 34.53% zinc, 14.79% nitrogen, and 50.68% oxygen. Calculate the empirical formula. So we start off by assuming that the percentages are per 100 grams. By stating that, we can say that 34.53%, it can be 34.53 grams. And the same with 14.79% can be 14.79 grams, and 50.68% can be 50.68 grams. So the first thing we do when we're calculating the empirical formula is we take the grams of our element. So we'll start with zinc. So the grams of zinc are 34.53 grams. We want to divide that by zinc's molar mass. So we go to our periodic table, and we find that zinc's molar mass is 65.38. So we can go back to our example, and I'll just get rid of this. And we can say for zinc, 34.53 grams divided by 65.38 grams per mole, which gives you 0.5281 moles of zinc. And then we can find our moles of nitrogen. So for nitrogen, we have, as stated before, we have 14.79 grams. Go to your periodic table. You find that nitrogen has 14.0067 grams per mole. So you divide 14.79 grams by 14.0067 grams per mole, and you get that nitrogen has 1.0559 moles. And our last one is oxygen. So for oxygen, it has 50.68 grams, and the molar mass of oxygen is 15.9994 grams per mole. So we have 15.9994 grams per mole, which gives us 3.1676 moles of oxygen. So now we have our moles of each element in the compound. So I'll erase the work and we'll write out the number of moles we have for each. So zinc has, we calculated 0.5281 1 moles. Nitrogen has 1.0559 moles. And oxygen has 3.1676 moles. Now we look at our moles here and we find the smallest number of moles, which is our zinc. And so we take that number of moles and we divide each other number of moles by that. So take your first one and divide that by 0.5281, and that gives you 1. Take nitrogen, divide it by 0.5281, and that gives you 1.99, which we are going to round to 2. And take your oxygen moles and divide them by 0.5281. And that gives you 5.998, which we'll round that to 6. So now we know that we have 1 zinc, 2 nitrogen, and 6 oxygen. So now to write our empirical formula, you write out your elements. So you have zinc, 1. You can put the 1, but you don't need the 1. And then nitrogen was 2, so you write a little 2. And oxygen was 6. So now you have what your compound contained. Hopefully that helped you with your empirical formulas.